Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, yesterday we saw the Deputy President Gachagwa using the Kenya Airways at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on his way to Mombasa. And there was a lot of drama there, whereby, number one, he was carrying his own luggage to the flight. Number two, he was using a commercial flight. And this is second in command. The distance between Gachagwa and power and the State House is just like this. Anytime you can become your president. But this man was also sitting in the economic class. So, carrying his own luggage, using commercial flight, sitting in the economic class to Mombasa. And it seems this attracted the attention of Kenyans, but above all, we are seeing members of parliament using their time to discuss regarding Gachagwa's conduct, and beside that, the statement from Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga. So we have several members of parliament, about 6 of them, who really talked about regarding Gachagwa. The first person here is the majority whip, Silvana Sosoro. And Silvana Sosoro is questioning the conduct of Gachagwa and asking where was the aid. People who have been employed, paid salary to help regarding Gachagwa, where were they when he was carrying his own bag? Now he's asking NIS to do investigation and arrest those people. Beside this, he's talking about the governor of Nyeri again, Mutahi Kahiga. Mutahi Kahiga also, we know what he talked about. Kahiga talked about people of Western region getting development while they did not vote for this administration. Why are they getting development? Is it because the people of Mount Kenya, walikula sukari yao? That's what they say. This is tulikula sukari yao. Listen to Silvana Sosoro.
It was a shame, Honorable Speaker, to see His Excellency Deputy President moving around carrying a bag, in as much as one wants to pull some PR stunts with, and I say this, Honorable Speaker, with tremendous respect. We should question, it is about time we question the members of staff that work with His Excellency the Deputy President. Where were they when he was carrying the bag? Where were they when they were taking pictures, and some of them, of course, standing behind him as he pulled the bag, which looked very empty, Honorable Speaker. And I think it must have been bought from the airport, Honorable Speaker. But, Honorable Speaker, nothing stops any member of this House from bringing the conduct of His Excellency Deputy President, especially when it's a shame to the country, Honorable Speaker. But if it's a reality show, as Honorable KJ has said, then I think it's important for us to appreciate him and say reality shows pay, and the young people have also shown that clearly reality shows are paying, and in fact people are saying even TikTok pays. And the very first time I saw that video, Honorable Speaker, His Excellency Deputy President towing the bag was actually on TikTok.
Members, reduce your consultations. Wind up.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So generally, Honorable Speaker, what I'm saying is that members, any public officer, any public servant, Honorable Speaker, right from the top, His Excellency the President, downwards, to all those people that have been given the privilege to serve in this country, should be careful on the utterances they make and their conduct in public. And it's at this point sometimes, Honorable Speaker, that we ask whether clearly NCIC is operational. Because at this point, we should be seeing the governor for Nyeri being summoned and questioned for his utterances against a certain community and profiling some communities as lesser human beings, Honorable Speaker. And we should also be seeing, the people raising questions on Chapter 6 of the conduct of even some members, senior members of the executive, on how they carry themselves in public. But
now, the correct MP John Kiaria also reacted on this and saying that DP is playing a PR exercise at JKIA runway. In fact, he is reminding Kenya that the Deputy President said at one point that he is a product of drama and festival. Therefore, he might be acting drama because even when he was in the university, he used to act. He might have been extending the content where he was at Bahati's event, now to JKIA running. In fact, he goes further to describe Rigathi Gachagua as a TikToker who is a cloud chaser. That is a description from a member of parliament in Dagoretti and coming from the same region, of course, from where Gachagua is coming from.
Taking a mickey on very serious professions, Mr. Speaker. He's talking about the Deputy Speaker taking a PR show to the runway. And I would like for the whip to understand that PR as a practice in itself is a very respectable profession. But most importantly, you also got to understand, Mr. Speaker, and I have to put this straight, that the Deputy President is on record saying that he is a product of the drama festival. He has acted on stage, in plays, even at the University of Nairobi, Mr. Speaker. So if he decides to put up a play, it is not the place of the whip to call him out on putting up a PR show, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy President is very serious about supporting the talents in this country. Only a few days ago, Mr. Speaker, the Deputy President was there for the launch of the Bahati show, Mr. Speaker. We might have had a continuation of the same show on the side, on the runway of at the JKI, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I was seeking to find out if the whip is in order to take a mickey at very serious professions, the profession of PR and public relations, the profession of actors, and even the people who chase clout for content, Mr. Speaker, for TikTok, are also doing a serious job, Mr. Speaker. So I would want you to find the whip out of order totally, Mr.
Didmas Barada, a member of parliament from Kiminini, that is Bungoma County, was not happy with the statement from Mutahi Kahiga. And above all, he also gave his comment as far as Rigathi Gachagwa PR at JKIA is concerned. In fact, Didmas Barada is calling ESCC to arrest Mutahi Kahiga and question him on his conduct as far as tribalism is concerned.
Said, and Honorable Speaker, if you look at our Constitution, anybody who engages in utterances that are against national values, that are against the national interests, anybody who makes utterances that appear to divide this country along how people voted, the tribal lines, those are grounds for impeachment, Honorable Speaker. I want to make it clear here, Honorable Speaker, that the utterances by the governor of Nyeri on what he said is clearly true, that man is not fit to hold office, and I want to call upon ESCC to begin the process of removing him from office, because every Kenyan requires development. Wherever you come from in this country is not a criminal offense. The tribe that you are is not a criminal offense, and the governor for Nyeri is not fit to hold public office, and the grounds for removing him should begin immediately today. They even ought to have begun yesterday, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Members.
Now, the minority leader, Opiyo Wandayi, had talked about the Nyeri governor as far as the matter to do with the wanachukua maendeleo wanapeleka Western, na Western wanaleta kura 600,000. Sisi tulipeana 300,000. Kwani sisi ndio tulikunywa hiyo chai yao? Hiyo sukari yao. So he is still here in parliament arguing on the same. So definitely two people have been really discussed in the parliament, Gachagua and the Nyeri governor. And in fact, when the Nyeri governor speak, you understand that he is speaking on behalf of Rigathi Gachagua.
It's so important that we need to get it right this time round. This time round, bearing in mind the public mood out there, it requires that we go through this process in a manner that gives members the time to interrogate the report and the attendant amendments, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the reason why I'm rising is what I've heard from the Honorable Majority Leader say. The Honorable Chungwa has made some remarks or some comments concerning the governor of Nyeri, who purported to be making a decision on this finance bill out there. But he made more serious remarks besides that I was very concerned about, Honorable Speaker, if you indulge me for 1 second. The governor of Nyeri, that is Mutahi Kahiga. I listened to him, I couldn't believe that I'm listening to a leader who has been elected by the people in a county. That he was castigating the government of the Republic of Kenya for extending development projects to Kenyans. That he wondered why the stadium in Bungoma was completed in a record 2 weeks, and yet the one in Nyeri is still pending. And yet the people of Bungoma did not vote as much as people of Nyeri for the government. He also lamented why the sugar debts, the debts for the sugarcane farmers was being waived. And yet sugarcane farmers did not vote for this government, Honorable Speaker. We must actually in one accord say without any equivocation that the government of the Republic of Kenya belongs to all Kenyans. And all Kenyans pay taxes. All Kenyans pay taxes. Be they in Bungoma, Kakamega, Siaya, where I come from, or Nyeri. They are all Kenyans. They are all Kenyans. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, time has come now. Some of us have got no business, by the way, with the differences in UDA. We perceived, I don't know. Whatever issues that are in UDA don't concern us. But you cannot stand on a public platform and be seen to be discriminating against a section of Kenyans on account of how they voted in the last elections. So I said while I was in Siaya yesterday, Juzi, that governor must be called to order. And if for sure he is pursuing some agenda, which we don't know, then that agenda is contrary to the national interest, Honorable Speaker, and the Constitution, of course. So I want to stop at that for the time being. In the fullness of time, I will be coming back with a more comprehensive action. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Of course, Kimani Ichung'wah also, who is the majority leader, had to react on this. In fact, Kimani Ichung'wah and Gachagwa might not be seeing eye to eye. And he's asking Gachagwa one thing: stop hiding behind the Nyeri governor, Mutahi Kahiga. Just come yourself and face off your boss head on. Stop the drama. That is Kimani Ichung'wah.
What would become the Act of Parliament, Finance Act of 2024. Because, Honorable Speaker, I have seen even governors in funerals, in churches, like the governor, clueless governor for Nyeri, debating the finance bill and saying he will vote no, as if he votes in this house. And you know that governor, Honorable Speaker, even has no idea of what is contained in the finance bill, has not even bothered to follow what the public discourse. And therefore, I would just appeal to even the governor for Nyeri. I know the people sending him are the same characters who are trying to mobilize members of parliament. And I must thank these honorable members of the National Assembly because they have refused to be incited against the finance bill and insisted on waiting for the report of the Finance Committee to read, understand what is now contained in that report, see what amendments come out of the public participation, then we make decisions based on what will come. But we cannot make decisions based on what some funny governor is saying in some church somewhere, Honorable Speaker.